key thing with the sandbag get up is if the weight of the bag is low, it's going to be easier. If it's higher up on the shoulder, it's going to be a lot more challenging. So positioning that bag in the right position on your shoulder is going to be important, especially when you're starting off. So the lower it is, the easier it is. The higher it is on the shoulder, the harder it's going to be, okay? So remember that one. Now, the setup. We're going to lay flat on the floor with the sandbag into the shoulder, okay? Whatever side the sandbag's on is the foot that you want to bring in. And the foot wants to be about a football size away from your arse cheek. The other leg's going to stay nice and straight. This foot that's on the floor bent wants to stay in the same position the duration of the exercise. You don't want to get into the habit of moving that foot. What I tend to see a lot of people do is they start up with the setup perfectly and then they end up doing this when they're trying to stand up, right? So you want to make sure that you keep the foot flat on the floor, okay? So the knee's bent. So whatever side the sandbag's on is the foot, the leg that's going to be bent, okay? And then keep that foot in that position the whole duration through. Next position. We want to roll to the side that the sandbag's not on, okay? Because we want to make sure the weight is constantly loaded onto the shoulder. If we lean the other way, it's going to roll off. So we want to roll onto the elbow, pushing up through this heel. This foot does not move, okay? Pushing onto the elbow and then up onto the hand. The space between the foot and this hand is very important. If you're too close together, you're going to find it difficult to swing this leg through. So make sure there's a nice gap between that foot and that hand. The next position is to lift the hips up high. So we're going to use that foot that we've planted on the ground and the hand that we've now planted on the ground to create a big bridge between the two. And that's where this leg's then going to swing through. So we end up in a lunge position. So lift the hip, swing the knee through, and then come into this lunged position here. Then it's a case of pushing this foot through to stand up. And that's the get up, the sandbag get up. The next thing that we want to do is to get back down on the floor, we simply need to reverse the movement. So that foot doesn't move. We take a knee to the floor, nice and slow, and then we place the hand to the side and swing this leg back through, placing the arse cheek on the floor. Elbow, and then lay back down. We're back from where we started from, and that foot hasn't moved, okay? So let me go through it again. The foot that's bent, the leg that's bent, is the side of the shoulder that the sandbag's sitting on, okay? So if the sandbag's in the left shoulder, we bring the left foot in, okay? If the sandbag's in the right shoulder, we bring the right foot in. What we then do from this position is roll to the opposite side that the sandbag's not on. Roll up onto the elbow like this. Roll to the side and lift onto the elbow, lifting your body up each time. The weight of the sandbag is constantly pushing down onto your shoulder. From here, we push the hand up, and you can adjust this hand back and forth to create a nice big gap for this leg to swing through. This foot does not move. We then lift the hips up high, okay, creating a bridge to swing this knee through. This sandbag's still on our shoulder, okay? If we was to lean forwards, it would drop. We want the weight of the sandbag to stay on the shoulder. So we lift the hips to create a bridge, swing the knee through, and stand up into a lunge. Stand up, and then to get back down, okay, we just reverse the process. Lunge down onto the knee, hand onto the floor, lift the hips into a bridge, swing the leg through, lay onto the elbow, back onto your back, and then you've completed one rep, okay? So let me show you again with the sandbag. Remember, the higher the sandbag is, the harder it is. The lower down on the shoulder it is, the easier the weight, the load would be. So the sandbag is in my left shoulder, so I'm going to bring the left foot in, about a football distance away from my arse cheek. I'm going to roll to the side that the sandbag's not on, pushing up onto my elbow. Keep this foot planted. Lift up onto your hands, so you're starting to get taller, and then lift the hips up into a bridge, swing the knee through, and stand up tall. Okay, from here we stand up, and then we reverse the move back down. Knee to the floor, hand on the floor, lift the hips, swing the leg through, okay? Remember, the distance between that hand and that foot is important. If you're too close together, you won't have space to swing this foot through. So big gap, big hip lift to swing the foot through, down onto the elbow, and back onto your back. That's one rep, okay? So that's the sandbag get up, give it a go. It's a wonderful exercise that will help your mobility, your flexibility, but also your strength. And why I like it so much is the first movement that you learn as a baby was how to roll, then how to crawl, and how to get up. And as adults, we forget how to do that. So to make you move better, to make you more efficient, we can relearn it. So it's a wonderful exercise. It's a great strength exercise. So it's going to burn a lot of fat and make you look good too. So practice the sandbag get up. The progression from that would be to do the Turkish get up with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and in which case we'll be holding the load overhead, which means you'll do the same pattern of movement, but you have to keep your arm vertical, because if it's drifting all over out to the sides, you'll end up dropping the load. So it just becomes a little bit more technical, which makes the sandbag get up a nice little bridge between doing it with body weight and then doing it with a load, and then progressing towards doing an overhead Turkish get up lift with a kettlebell. Give it a go, wonderful exercise. Let me know how you find it.